Hi everybody, John here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Yakima RidgeBack 4 bike rack on the 2022 Kia Telluride. So this is going to be a hanging style bike rack that's going to be great if you want to take up to 4 bikes. Maybe you're wanting to take the family out on the trail. Though something to keep in mind whenever it comes to the weight capacity, it's going to be 150 pounds in total. Though if you're carrying 1 or 2 bikes, you can have up to 40 pounds per bike. So let's say you have 2 40-pound bikes and then a couple of kids' bikes. You can go along those lines if you want to get the entire family out on a ride. Now the way the bike is actually held onto the bike rack is going to be 3 points of contact. We're going to have them up here at the top, and then we're also going to have an anti-sway down here. Now to keep in mind, whenever you have your bikes on here, you're not going to want to have any carbon frame bikes, and if you do have any odd shaped frames, you may have to have an adapter. But whenever it comes to the actual anti-sway, whenever it comes to hanging styles, it's on the better end. You can see that for the most part it's moving around, but the second that we take the anti-sway off, it's going to move way more. Now, let's actually get the bike off so we can take a closer look at the bike rack itself. We're just going to take these zip strips off right here. Very easy to pop out. And then from there, we're just going to grab our bike and lift it off. Gotta watch those areas. And you're ready for a ride. Now taking a closer look at the padding that's actually going to be protecting your bike, as you can see here, got it set up right here where we have some ridges, so it's going to keep it up a little bit more, along with having a little ridge for your brake lines, which is nice. We're going to always just put the zip strips back. Taking a closer look, as you can see over here, whenever you're not using it, you can actually tilt the anti-sway up so it's out of the way. I always recommend having that up whenever you're taking the bikes off or on. Now before we take a closer look at any of the other features, I actually want to give you some measurements, because whenever you have a bike rack that's out this far, it's not going to be the same kind of system as a platform style bike rack where it's down here and you may run into something, but it's still good to have the actual length whenever you're backing up. So let's get a length from the back of the car. It's going to be about 40 inches, so keep that in mind whenever you're backing up. So another thing to keep in mind is you can actually tilt this down, the arms. So whenever you tilt it down, you're going to take away a lot of the length. You're going to have about a foot in length coming out, so that's something that's going to help whenever you're backing up. I definitely recommend when you're not using it to have it in this position. So let's say you have it in this position, you're about to go on a ride, but you forget a couple things in the back of your vehicle. Luckily, you can tilt this away. Pop open the back of your vehicle and then just grab anything that you may need, whether it's your helmets, waters, you're good to go. There's more than enough room, as you can see, and it's easy just to put it back up. Another measurement to keep in mind is how close it actually comes to your vehicle. It's going to be about 5.5 inches in between the plastic part right here to the back of your vehicle. Now whenever it comes to ground clearance, you are going to get about, hold on one second, 11.5 inches. Now something to keep in mind is we have this little fin at the bottom here. So let's say that you are on rocky terrain or a bumpy road. You're not going to have to worry about any of your plastic pieces getting damaged, because you're going to have this metal piece in the way first. So that's something that I think Yakima really thought about whenever they were making this. Taking a closer look at the hitch, it's actually going to be an adapter that we have. So this will work on 2 inches and 1.25 inches. So in case you may have multiple vehicles, this is a way that you can have it in both. It's going to be held in place right here, and then it's actually got an anti-rattle that's going to do a majority of the holding it in place. As you can see right here, as I shake it, it's going to shake mostly the vehicle. There's a lot of back and forth that you don't have to worry about, and as you can see, the way that it's held in place is this little knob. It's very easy to work with. This is one of the better knobs whenever it comes to anti-rattle system. As I undo it, it's going to move around a little bit more. Very quick and easy to just tighten back up. And then you'll be ready to go. Now, as you can see, it actually comes with an area where you can lock it. So that's going to be nice whenever you want to protect your bikes. So my final thoughts on the Yakima RidgeBack, whenever it comes to having a hanging style bike rack that will definitely do what it needs to, it definitely hits the marks. It can hold 4 bikes. It's got a pretty good weight capacity. And whenever it comes to the anti-rattle system, like I said, it's one of the better that I have noticed whenever it comes to the hanging style bike racks. I do have a couple other bike racks that I'd recommend. Kuat's always a good one if you're wanting to upgrade to a platform style bike rack. And they do have some 4 types with this. But let's say that you actually are interested in the RidgeBack, but you need a little bit more out of it. You can get a 5-bike version as well. So that's something that's going to be very useful if maybe you have another friend that wants to join you. I would go with the 5-bike. And that was a look at the Yakima RidgeBack 4-bike rack on the 2022 Kia Telluride. My name's John. Have a great one.